Hello all. Hello Ben.
Hello Ben.
Thanks for having me at your home.
No problem.
And we've been working on an update for the FOSSA, which for a long time has needed a lot of TLC, and we're very excited to bring out the new FOSSA. I don't know what we're going to call it. FOSSA
v1.1.
1.1, v1.1. But it's really incredible. So now the FOSSA, as well as it's completely offline, which is fantastic on its own. But you can put your coins in, you can put your bills in, and you can obviously withdraw over Lightning. But with this new update of the FOSSA, you can actually scan that QR code with a regular QR code scanner. It will take you to a page. You can give it an on-chain address or a liquid address, and then pull the funds out on on-chain or liquid using trustless atomic swaps and Boltz, which is a huge update for this little ATM. One of the other things which has been updated, which is really incredible, is this beautiful box which Ben has made.
Lid's not screwed on yet.
Oh, the lid's not. Oh yeah, we unscrewed the front here actually, yeah, because we're gonna be flashing it in a moment, so I won't be too rough with it. But it's such an incredible achievement, the case which you've designed here. For those of you who don't know Ben Weeks' work, you're a prolific contributor to all these Bitcoin projects, and you kind of hop from project to project, just making them work properly.
The ones that need a little bit of TLC.
Yeah, and a little push. And that's very much what you've done here with the FOSSA, so thank you very much. I think the format of this tutorial is, well, we definitely want to cover how you designed this box and made the box for it, as well as all the extra little bits like the compartment which you can get into to take the fiat out. Also, we have a really nice USB system which you've implemented. But it wasn't just me and Ben Weeks who worked on this. It was also Black Coffee designed this incredible PCB board, which makes putting this thing together like putting Lego together. Really, it's just plugging in a few wires and you're done. And DNI, he built the web installer for it. So once you get one of these things, you can just plug it into your laptop, flash it from the browser, and then configure it. So we really want to get it to the point where it is like a piece of Lego, like just building a Lego kit together.
I think one of the cool things about this is how it's battery powered. And when you first told me how it didn't need to be connected to the internet, I was like, how does that work? So
yeah.
I think it's really clever that you can go around with a little box and people can buy Bitcoin, and you don't need to be plugged into power, and you don't need to have an internet connection.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you can stick it in a forest somewhere and someone can go and buy some Bitcoin. Yeah, cheap to make. I think probably, like, we're definitely going to sell these on the LNbits shop. I'm sure robotechie.com is going to sell them as well.
Yep.
So you'll be able to buy just one ready-made, and then when you get it home, just plug it in and flash it and configure it. Also probably sell like a kit version, so you could put the thing together like maybe an evening project or a weekend project. And then for the die-hard techies out there, they can build the whole thing from scratch. It's all completely free open source. Print it all off.
Order all the bits from Amazon or AliExpress or whatever, you know.
Yeah. And yeah, so it's a lot of fun. So we're going to just go straight into it, and I guess probably first we'll show how easy it is to flash.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
So we're on fossa.lnbits.com. We've plugged in the board. Where did you source this board from?
I think that was AliExpress.
AliExpress, okay, yes. You can get them from Amazon, but there's some different versions out there. So we'll put, if you're building this from scratch, we've got some links in the repo which you can use. But let's imagine we've just bought one of these things. We've plugged it in for the first time. Now we're going to click on Connect to FOSSA. This is, I'm using Chrome. The protocol we're using is called Web Serial, and that runs on Chrome, Chromium, Brave. So now I can actually select the board from the browser. It'll connect. And then once connected, there we go.
Flashing away at the background.
We get all the different firmwares. We're going to go for the most recent. I mean, to be fair, I'm not sure why we have all the older versions of the firmware on there, but just go for the most recent version. So click on Upload Firmware. I think my laptop's running a little bit slow because I'm getting it to do quite a lot of things here. And it'll push the binary onto the screen. A little bit later on in the tutorial, I've got an interview with Daniel, who built the web installer, and he'll explain how he built it and how it works, because it's very cool under the hood how it works. And I think, as we've said before, we want to make this like Lego, don't we? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. Like a child could make it. Yeah.
Well, we built it. So.
Yeah, that's it. So we're it's done. It's flashed. The screen will remain blank because we're still connected to it. So I'm going to restart the page. Click on Connect Device again. Select the device again. Now I'm going to go to Show Configuration Options. Hit Reset Device. The screen will turn on. I have to press it quickly. I didn't press it quick enough. I'm going to click it again. Okay. Press it quickly. There we are. So now we've launched the configuration mode, so it can accept data down the line.
So that's a little security thing, yeah? You put in there.
Yeah, kind of. So when you fire it up, you have like a second or something where when it first turns on that you need to press the screen to launch this. I suppose the other security mechanism is that you need to actually get inside the ATM to plug in the wire to flash it. Yes, it's more kind of convenience, I suppose. I'm not. Yeah. So we have LNbits running here. I would suggest running your LNbits on a funding source which is going to work, like is going to have good liquidity. PhoenixD is a great option. If you're running your own node and someone puts a bunch of money in there and then for whatever reason the channels can't facilitate it, then it's a bad user experience. If you use something like PhoenixD, as long as the money's on the node, that you're going to have the channel balance to be able to send out those big payments. I think that's why it's a good option. Less
likely to run into routing issues and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Another one would be maybe the Boltz funding source, because that will just pay out of do a trustless swap from whatever you like, Liquid to Boltz if you're running it on Liquid. Anyway, that's all a bit complicated. Or a custodial funding source like OpenNode, I suppose, would probably work. Or Blink. Blink's great. That's by Galloy. That's a good funding source. Yeah, probably Blink or PhoenixD would be my top choices, I would say. So we're going to be using LNUL device. This is the extension which was designed for hardware. We just enable the extension, open the extension up. I'll tell you what, another thing I'm going to do, I have to do this every single time, is I'm going to change the theme here on LNbits because what should we go for? I really like this new gradient option, so I'm going to go for the new gradient option here to make it look all fancy. So I'm going to click on new LNUL device. I'm going to call it FOSSA, call it whatever you want. Select the wallet where the funds are going to come out of. Fiat currency, we're in the UK here, so we're going to go GBP. Now the reason it does this is because they're putting fiat in and they need to get you won't have a SATS balance when you put the fiat in because it's offline. The conversion happens when they actually scan that QR code to get the SATS. Yeah. And it hits the server.
That's how it works cleverly offline. The device is offline.
Yeah.
But the client phone does the query and this responds back with actually how many SATs they're getting. That's where the calculation happens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're piggybacking off the client's phone, I suppose. So we're going to select ATM, and then we're going to put in a profit. So I'm going to charge 10% for using my ATM. Now you'll see this new toggle.
Cool.
I think ATMs rip you off, Bitcoin ATMs. So, I mean, you could just do a little fiddle here. So in your bar, you say, okay, it's 10% off drinks if you buy and pay in Bitcoin. And then if someone says, well, I haven't got any Bitcoin, you say, well, you go use the little ATM over there. And then don't tell them, but then charge them 15% on the ATM. So then they put the cash in, and then, you're still making that 5%. So there's this new little toggle switch here, which is on-chain liquid support. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click on Create LNUL device. Because this is using Boltz swaps to do the on-chain and liquid support, I'm going to have to go and enable Boltz, the Boltz extension. And this will take care of our trustless atomic swaps for us. And that's it. We're all set up. We're just going to click on this little thing here. This is the link we need to copy across to the ATM, which is here. And we've got some of the variables here to fill out. So build denominations. When you set up the coin mech, which we're going to show you how to do, or the coin acceptor. I don't know why I always call it a coin mech. It's just wrong, isn't it? I think it's just force of habit. What have we programmed?
I think I saw that in the code as well.
Yeah, have you?
Well, I'm not sure the latest version.
What coins have you put in there? What's do you remember?
So I skipped the copper. So the coin acceptor, which is the DG600F S. Does the S just mean it comes with the silver front, like the panel? I think that's all it means.
Oh, maybe is that what it is?
I think so.
Oh yeah.
But it can only accept up to 6 coins, I think.
Yeah.
So I skipped
2Ps.
the 1 and 2p.
All right, and you go straight to 5p.
Straight to 5, 10, 20, 50p, £1.
Okay, so I get rid of the 2p. I got the 5p. I got the 10p. I got the 20p. And I got the 50p and I got the pound. There we are, that's all set up in it, that's right. And then percentage I'm going to charge, it's not 20%, it's 10%. Bill denominations, 5, 10, 20, 50?
Oh, yes, I think that's what
Well, we're going to set it up so it'll accept
yes, okay.
50s. Let's do
5, 10, 20, 50, 100, I think is what we've put in before.
But we don't have 100 pounds.
Oh, I can't test 100, no.
Yeah, let's go 50. I haven't got 50
Not
on
that
me.
flush.
So this is where we set the bill denominations, of course, but we'll show you how to configure the bill acceptor and the coin acceptor to align with these.
Now again there, if you just bought it, it's going to be pre-configured.
Yes, exactly. Exactly, yeah. So if you just buy it, it'll be pre-configured to, yeah. If you bought one of these like from the shop.lnbits.com or something, then when it comes, we'll tell you what numbers to put into this section here. That makes sense.
Yep.
And then maximum amount to be withdrawn in one transaction. This is a nice feature, so you could just limit that. We've limited it to 40 quid, so someone can only ever withdraw a maximum 40 quid out. And then maximum amount before the ATM just stops accepting any money, and so we're putting in 500. So that's basically so the ATM just doesn't fill up and run out of space. And then if you have a thermal printer, so this does also work with a little thermal printer, then we can plug that in, and if we just set this to true, when you get the payment link, it will also print the payment link out. There's some European countries, I think it might be Germany, where you have to have a thermal printer legally on your ATM.
At the moment, this case doesn't have the thermal printer slot in it.
Yeah.
We were discussing like where we would potentially put that. Space is a premium, so this is basically what the maximum size most printers will be able to print, home printers.
Yeah.
So
it's also not necessary for most people, but I think
could be an optional thing.
Yeah, and then also you could get a different case, find a different case if you want a thermal printer or something. It'd be fine, I reckon. Also language, so you can translate into the languages you can see here, but we're just going to keep it in English. And then if we click on upload configuration, you can see the JSON which gets pushed to the microcontroller. And then, is it done? It's done. So now all I need to do is just tap the screen, and there we are, ready to roll. The coin acceptor and the bill acceptor aren't plugged in yet, so we're going to plug those in and then chuck some money in it. Oh, haha, one more thing you would need to do. So I'm plugged into Phoenix D at the moment on my server. Obviously this wallet is completely empty, so you'll need to put enough money in this wallet so it will be able to cater for any payments which are going to be pulled out via the ATM, or you're going to have some very unhappy customers. So I guess the next stage of the tutorial is...
And you're not going to leave any money on there after you've done the demo, are you, Ben?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to do that. So the next part of the tutorial will be... Should we demo the functionality of it? Yeah, let's do that. And then what we're going to try first, you got some coins?
Yep, I got some coins. I've got some notes. So
right, let's chuck a quid in. Okay,
£1.
Put £1.50 or something.
I've got a 50p. I've got a 10p.
Nice little
Okay,
bit.
should we try that?
Yeah, should you want to press the do the honours? Okay, cool. So now if I scan that with my regular normal Lightning wallet, and then receive, boom, get the money, easy peasy. So now we're going to try it with some bills, and we're going to pull out Liquid. We're not going to pull out on-chain because in order to get on-chain, you need to do 100,000 sats worth of fiat, which is like 50 quid. And
we're too poor for that.
Yeah, we're too poor. We've only got 15 quid, so we're going to have to do get a liquid out. But it's the same process, so yeah. Oh, doesn't like that one.
Didn't like that one.
Doesn't want your stinky feet. It's been orange filled.
Should put some,
yeah, chuck some coins in as well. Okay,
there we go.
So what I'm going to do is just hit the screen, and then we're going to scan the QR code with a regular normal QR code scanner. And what we get is we get the, you can see the LN URL, which is the thing which the Lightning wallet was able to pull, but it's also got this fallback. So actually when I click on this URL, it's going to open up LNbits, and I've got some options. So I can withdraw with LN URL withdraw. I can use a Lightning invoice or give it an LN address. So technically this is Nostified, because you can give it an LN address, which we use in Noster. There's the on-chain option, which I can't click on because I haven't put 100,000 sats in. And there's the liquid option. So I need to give it a liquid address. So I'm going to go over to Green Wallet and then receive, take the address, pop it in there. Oh, go on. Going to paste that there. Click on withdraw. And then it'll say, there we are, payment should be with you shortly. And now we're going to pop over to our liquid wallet. And then in a moment, probably in about a minute, because liquid, mines a block every minute, we'll get the transaction pop up here. And we'll get the liquid funds. We're just going to wait a minute. Oh, while we're waiting for that to clear, in fact, if we go to the Boltz extension in LNbits, we'll see that that new swap has been initiated. And we've got a link here. So if I click on this little link, it will say invoice settled. So there we are. So the LNbits was able to pay sats to the Boltz swap, and now the Boltz swap is just clearing. And it's a HODL invoice, so it's completely trustless. And if I click on this little link here, it should open up mempool.space, and we can see if we've got any confirmations. Not yet. There we go. Oh, there we go.
Two.
Have we got two? Two confirmations. There we are. You see that transaction? Look at that. There he is. Got the money. To program the coin acceptor, press and hold button A until the coin acceptor says CP. Now press and hold button B until it says CC. That'll clear the settings on the coin acceptor. Tap button A once, then tap button B twice to get the number 1. I'm now going to drop in 22 pennies until the 2 pence is set to the variable 1. Then, when it's plugged into the microcontroller, when we drop a 2p in, it will send an integer 1 to the microcontroller, which we can then interpret as 2p. When you put the last 2p in, the coin acceptor will show an F, which means the 2 pence is programmed to the coin acceptor. We need to press B again 2 more times to get it to the number 2. And now we're going to put in our next coin. Do the same process for the rest of your coins. When you're finished, press and hold button A to get out of the configuration mode. And now your coin mech will be able to accept the coins which you programmed. To connect your bill acceptor to your laptop, you're going to need one of these CN00392 cables, which you can buy from Innovative Technologies and some other online shops. You'll also need, sadly, a Windows machine in order to run the validator software. Plug the cable into the bill acceptor, then plug the USB side of the cable into the Windows machine. Then you're going to plug the 12-volt DC charger into the wall to power on the bill acceptor. You'll need to install the device drivers by going to ports.com. And then going to the Innovative Technology website, downloads, software download, and then clicking on the link for the ITL drivers. There's a PDF inside the ITL drivers folder, which tells you what driver you need to use. I'm going to be using the x64 sine driver. So download that folder. And extract it onto your system. Then go to Device Manager, Update Driver, browse to where the drivers are and install the drivers. Now your computer will be able to recognise the bill acceptor. Next we need to go install the validator software so we can program the bill acceptor. Go to Downloads and install the exe for the validator manager. Now click on the little button, the little reset button on the bill acceptor, and hold it down for about 5 seconds, and this will put it into config mode. Open up the validator manager and it should detect the device. Sometimes it doesn't. You have to close the validator manager and then put the bill acceptor back into config mode and try again. Now if you go to options, there's a bunch of options here. The most important one is simple serial. That's the protocol we're using to communicate to the bill acceptor. But there are some other options you might need to set if it doesn't work. Now we're going to program the bill acceptor with our new currency. So go back to the Innovative Technologies website, go to Downloads, and then go to Currency Download. Select the NV10, select the currency that you want. I'm going to go GBP, and then download the currency file you want. Extract the folder. Go back to the validator manager and then browse for the currency file. Now you're ready to program the device. Click Program the Device. Now after it's programmed the device, the validator manager will probably just seize up. It does for me. And I usually have to wait a few seconds and then close the application and open it up again. Just to be on the safe side, wait till it says checking connections. Again, I have to press the side button on the bill acceptor to get it into config mode. Open up the validator manager software again. Detect devices. And now we can test whether our bill acceptor is programmed. If you go to Run and then click on Start, it will power up the bill acceptor and be ready for notes. Chuck in your note and you should see an output in the little terminal dialog. If you order this as a kit, this is how it will arrive pretty much, and then you have to just plug it all in. It's like Lego. If you're more hardcore and you want to build it from scratch, you'll need to solder the connectors onto the board, and then also I suppose 3D print yourself a case. Now there is a different configuration, isn't there, if you want to just attach the screen directly to the board?
Yes, I think originally when you were mounting this into a case, you actually just mounted the board onto the case and had the screen mounted onto the front of the board, hence why you've got the holes on the board that correspond here. But if you were to do that, you would want to solder the pins onto the underside and then it just connects straight on. Now we're soldering it to the top and then we're using a crossover cable to connect it to the front screen. So the front fascia is printed out of PETG, and then we're using the brass threaded receptacles that we solder, well, we basically melt into place, and then it's really sturdy. You could try and 3D print a thread, but these are, I think, M4 or something, which is too fine a granularity. Now you can screw it in and it will grab, but over time that will just wear away and then things will get loose. So I find these are the best solutions for trying to put threads into 3D printed gizmos. When we're mounting the bezel for the cash machine, cash collector, just make sure it's a smiley face. So that way around for you. So make sure it's a smiley face, and then you'll make sure the cash comes out the right way at the back and won't get tangled. Okay, I think pretty much all the threads are M4.
So with the coin acceptor, that's pretty easy. It just sits in, you screw it in. And then with the bill acceptor, it's a little bit more fiddly, isn't it? With the...
Yeah, I think there's a right way and a wrong way of putting it in. There's a metal, let me try and get the camera so it can focus on it. So you've got the metal bracket that it mounts to first of all. There we go. And then you've got a little, what's the right term? I struggled with this yesterday.
I'm terrible with terms as well. I need a term cheat sheet. A doodah.
A doodah.
You got a doodah.
A little knurled spacer washer.
Yeah,
that was the term I was looking for. And then you've got a nut to hold that in place. So that holds the metal bracket to sort of pinch this in place. And then you've got another nut which sits on the underside of the red plastic. And then you've got the washer again, and then another nut.
Oh yeah, because the front goes on first, doesn't it? That gets screwed in, and then the red bezel bit here, that then gets put on the back, and then you screw it in from behind.
Yeah, and then we'll show how this just clips in place.
Yeah, it's very neat.
But it's quite handy, you can unclip and clip this.
Good bit of design, innovative technology, thank you.
Clever little design that, yeah, we like that. Okay, so you've got your screen. We've already flashed it at this point, I think.
Yes.
So that's good. And then, so we just slot that in place here. What I am going to do first is just mount the ribbon cable. So this ribbon we've got has already got, is male at one end, female at the other. Don't know if you're going to see the pins very clearly, but there's actually pins on this end here. Okay, so we're going to plug that in here. Be careful not to bend your pins, because if you need to straighten them out again, they're 2mm pitch, which are a bit fiddly. You know, you'll get it awkward to try and straighten them up again.
And then that's the back plate which gets threaded on.
So then we've got the back plate, and this holds it all in place. There's probably going to be a slight redesign on this at some point, so that we can have a permanently connected USB cable into the board that you can just open the door to the cash machine or the ATM and just plug it in, reflash it.
Yeah, that's a good point. So in this version we've got here, the one which any of you people at home buy from shop.lnbits.com or robotechie.com, that will, if you just buy the ATM, when you open up the side of the ATM to get the cash out, there'll be a USB wire which you can use just to plug into. Whereas currently we have to like unscrew the screen, then plug into it and flash it, but that won't be an issue which they have at home, will it?
Right, then we're going to get the cable. Now when you plug the cable in, you basically, it's a straight line from here. You're not twisting it over or anything like that. So it's a straight line. And then again, just be careful not to bend your pins.
What happens if you do plug it in the wrong way around? Will it break the board or?
No, you'll get it'll power up, but then it won't communicate.
Okay.
Okay, so then I'll just move it to one side. Is there anything else to show you on this bit? I think that's good. I suppose we should plug this in first. So here, this cable that would come with it is a pass-through cable, so it's not a crossover cable. And then what we're doing is we're connecting the power and the ground, which is pins 15 and 16, I think, on here, which is at the top of the board. So you see that the red and the black connectors are there. We're plugging that into the top. And then here on the cash collector, this is the front where you've got the little tracks to pull the notes in, and then we're going to be connecting the power to the front of that. I don't think it's labelled, but it's on the repo. I think we've labelled what all those are.
Red and black is there, isn't it, on the bit which is the shortest bit. That's how I always remember.
Yeah, so just put red and black into the front of the cash collector. Okay, and then you can just slot it in place. So to do that, we hook in the red bits first into here, and it clips in place like that. If you wanted to undo it, there is a little button here, and you can basically reverse and take it back off again. Next one is connecting up this. I don't know what that type of connector is on the top of my mind, but
it's got the little
took ages to find it out. But that fits into here, and it's got the notches, so you can only get it the right way around.
And the 12 volts on the bottom.
Yeah.
On the coin acceptor.
And this is a pass-through cable. It's only one row, so it's not too much of a problem. But so again here, the top of this connects to the top of this, the bottom to the bottom. You can slot your battery in place here, and then we've actually recently modified this design so it's got charging and power via USB-C, and then you've got a switch to switch it off and on, because obviously if you've got the battery connected, you don't want to be draining the battery.
A little board in here, haven't you?
Yeah.
And so this will ask for 12 volts from the USB, which is incredible to me. You specify, there's some little dip switches, is that correct? Yeah, there's some dip switches. And then on the back, you can it tells you what to set the settings to on the dip switches to make it 12 volt, which I think is, what are the dip switches set to?
101.
101.
Yeah.
That's easy to remember.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One other little pointer is that we've got this note, I call it like a note deflector or something like that. So as the note comes out of the back of the cash machine, this is nicely flush and it just pushes the note down to the bottom of the box. So that comes in, connects via USB-C to your board to do the negotiation, but we'll mount that in the case so it's tucked away nicely, and then it connects to your battery. So the battery can negotiate or get its 12 volts. And then it comes out of the battery and connects back into a jack, which goes into the switch, and then the switch carries on to power the front. Okay, so now I'm just gonna pop this in. Yeah.
There we are, look at that. Dog's bollocks. Another ATM ready for the world. And we're done. We have a new ATM built from scratch, all put together. We've covered everything in the tutorial which you need to build one of these from scratch. Obviously you can buy it ready-made and you just take the wire, plug it in, flash it from your computer. You can buy it as a kit from shop.lnbits.com or robotechie.com. Or if you want, when you're hardcore, you could build the whole thing from scratch with all the STL files for the box, the board and all the wires and stuff you need. So have fun. Enjoy building it. Thanks, Ben, for your contributions. Thank you, Putty Kitty, for your help. You'll notice that it's now light outside, and it was dark outside when we started. That's literally how long this video tutorial took. But yeah, Ben, thanks for all your work, Ben, and thanks for having me. And yeah,
no worries. I look forward to seeing some of these out in the wild and at conferences and stuff like that. People making use of it, and you know, if you've got a Bitcoin meetup or something like that, it's probably good for things like that.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for a meetup or co-work, a Bitcoin conference or your Bitcoin bar, perfect. A little gizmo, just for the home as well. You know.
Yeah. I've always got family members who are like, "Oh, can I have a bit of Bitcoin?" It's like, yeah.
You can buy some if you want.
Yeah, exactly. The machine's over there.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, cheers, everybody.
Thank you very much.